So welcome to the fourth and last day. So apparently in meetings like this towards the end of an apparent online event of multiple days, the question that usually comes is, are we there yet? Am I close? Am I halfway there? Or I think I'm almost there. I think I'm almost there. Um, so who or what is asking that question or thinks that it's asking that question? Who is that? Someone answered it. I don't know. So the silence, the gaps in between the words, the question, the questioner, the one that's seeking for answers, the one that's trying to get there, the one that is really tired, really frustrated with this communication, is the one that's being expressed that is the one that's illusory. It's kind of like going to a marathon and you keep on waiting for them, like, okay, and you're running. I don't know if you've gone to like a 10K marathon or something, and the constant nagging is like, when am I getting to the finish line? But what seems to be happening is that it's circling around the finish line. It's just going around and around and around the finish line, and there's really no finish line. There's no, not even a runner. It's like saying that the lie, the liar, and the lied to is the truth. Ta-da! And there's no such thing as truth. So it never arrives at anything. It's like I don't know if you guys have gone to kind of like one of those classes in high school, like a petri dish, and everything that seems to be happening there, you think that you're in the petri dish. There's a microscope. There's seemingly kind of like bacteria and viruses or whatever that seems to be happening, and then you're immersed in that petri dish of knowing, unknowing, all the processes, all of this seemingly running around. It's like a battlefield, the battlefield of illusions. I like that Jim Newman analogy of the video game. It's a classic one. I really like it. When he was a kid, and I did this too, I would go to an arcade game. I don't know if people are young enough or old enough to know that. There's this arcade game, and then all of a sudden you jump in and you're playing this game and thinking that you're doing extremely well. It's like, oh wow, it's everything is kind of like happening, and you think that you're going to the next level, or you're doing really well, and then the attendant says, hey, you have to put in a quarter to play the game. It's just playing by itself. So this seeking is like that. It's seeking by itself. It's playing by itself. It's like a battleground for me, no me, all these ideas, all of these frustrations. But as I mentioned earlier, it's the silence and the gaps in between the chaos is not separate. So what you're looking for is not separate. But it's really difficult, seemingly, because what seems to be looked for seems to be separate, seems to be not here. But that's what's being expressed here, is that what's being sought for appears in absolutely everything. If you're looking for the Etch-a-Sketch, there's no Etch-a-Sketch. If you're looking for the blank canvas, there's no blank canvas. It all really leads to nothing. And the illusion that something is happening. And the idea that I will get there, I'm getting there somehow, I'm almost there, or I will never get there, is the same. In the same petri dish. In the same video game. Or whatever appears in an Etch-a-Sketch. Whatever appears in the swirling of all of these chaotic musings about something that is quite simple. So the one that's giving up, the one that can't give up, and everything in between, is it. Is the illusion and the emptiness happening all at the same time? Or you can just simply say that there's nothing happening. It's just this. Unknowable this. And this is a repetition of what's just being expressed, because what's being expressed is really, really simple. There's different words that's being used, different analogies that's being expressed. But it's not talking to anyone. The analogy is for no one. Because again, the one that understands this is it. The one that does not understand it is also it. So in the end of concepts, in the end of stories, and all of the end that really had never had any beginning, there's this relief that the game, the con, the long con, the lie, the answers are all the same. Nothing. It all leads back to nothing, and it's always nothing. And what seems to be expressed here over and over again, that everything is nothing, nothing is everything, empty is fullness, fullness is empty. And it keeps on hitting the wall and trying to understand this. It keeps on getting on a dead end. It keeps on, I can't get anything from this. Thanks for nothing. Or sometimes, and this is just a story, there is a blacking out of what's being said. Or sometimes there's a disorientation. Or sometimes, but that's just a story again. It's in the same petri dish. It's in the same etch-a-sketch. It's in the same blank canvas. Everything that appears, including this wow experiences or the non-wow experiences, I'm just really wasting my time here. This is kind of like the fourth day and nothing is happening. It's the same thing as someone saying that everything seems to be happening gloriously now. It's that elation and it's that disappointment. Because the one that's elated, the one that's disappointed is the same. It's all emptiness. So whatever appears, the joy, the frustration, the sorrow, all of those litany of feelings and emotions are coming from the same illusion. The singular illusion that this is all real. So that's why sometimes when there's an apparent dropping away, when there's an apparent seeing that nothing is happening, when it becomes interpreted, when it becomes a knowing, then it becomes something. Then it becomes an illusion again. There's nothing wrong or right about that, since everything is an illusion. But the way to get out of this is not is seeing that no one gets out of this. No one escapes this. It's inescapable. And whatever seems to be happening now, it's all emptiness arising and seemingly disappearing, but for no one. Everything that seems to be happening, it's all the shades of the color in the palette of apparent life. It's all of the pixels in a video game. It's all of the dust in an etch-a-sketch. It's all of the doing and not doing. It's all of the seeking and not seeking. It's in the I'm here now, and also in the I'm not here at all. Or it's in the how close am I getting to this? It's all in that. So there's nothing that's excluded. And it's not even a koan or a parable or a riddle when it's said that everything is already appearing as it is. Even the one that thinking that it's not, it is. It. Or thinking that where is it is also it. There's a couple of comments here. Who's that? Sorry, just a second. Expansion and retraction and loop. That's correct. Yeah. It's scary. So what? Lots of frustration. There's also the scaredness of it as well sometimes. It's in the scary, it's in the I'm ready, I am afraid. It's in everything, right? Everything that comes up. I like these longer sessions or longer kind of like because everything seems to show up. I was talking to someone earlier today, and this apparent person was saying that, oh wow, it's like hell and heaven, hell and heaven, hell and heaven, because that's what it is. It's like one day I'm like crying, one day I'm laughing, one day I'm scared, one day I'm because that's what seems to be happening. And what's being expressed is that that's all nothing. It's all the sameness of everything. It's in everything. It's in every single thought, it's in every single dream, it's in every single apparent deep sleep, it's in everything. In deep sleep, it's clear that there's nothing. But in the apparent dreaming, since there's seemingly kind of like a whole bunch of things apparently happening, it seems to be not clear. So again, what is temporal, or what seems to change all the time, or what seems to be fluctuating or oscillating all the time is the unreal. What seems to be permanent, what seems to be constant, like silence, is always constant, is what's apparently real. And it's not even about figuring that out because that's what's appearing. So everything is silent and also sounding. Everything is silence, not even appearing a sound, because the silence is appearing at the same time as sound. For this sound to appear, to be heard, there's silence, underlying silence that's coming. For this apparent images to appear, there's a space, or there's emptiness that it appears into. And that's all just another idea, another concept. But I'm just trying to expose it, that all of this is concept, that everything is just happening as it is. And there's nothing that you can do about it. There's no one further along, there's no one far, there's no one right, there's no one wrong. We'll talk in a second, Carolyn, if you want to expand on that one of what's scary. I have a comment here. Thank you, Emerson, for doing this. Can you please read this anonymously? Yep, sure. In my opinion, I think that you have evolved and freed up the languaging into new heights of clarity. Oh, thank you. No one's doing it. Seeking has stopped thanks to nonstop listening. And one time I was taking a shower and it clicked that there's no one. And since I like jazz, this is like music improvisation of that singular note of nothing. Thank you. Thank you. No one's doing anything here. But thank you. We can talk later too if you like. Jack, how much of a regular imagined human day do you spend in the pure being, and how often do you feel to channel the preferred lens of Emerson? There's no Emerson, so there's no imagined human. There's no Emerson. There's not a preferred. So the way that this character speaks, the way that it does its day to day is the same. There's another idea that there's a pure being, and then there is this character. It's all the same. It's all illusory. Hey, Petra. Hello. Oh, I can't hear you.
So, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hi. Good to see you all.
Good to see you.
I'm scared because it's this 4 days end soon, and I'm afraid I'm gonna be sucked in the black dark room and tortured there. I don't know. as long we're together, everything's fine. But what
yeah,
to do
yeah.
when I'm by myself? It started already this morning. Oh, today you will be fine, but tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, that seems to happen. And I you know what, when this character was seeking, It actually went from places to places, right? And trying to look for that. But it always felt nothing. Um, this is really nothing. Everything is nothing. So the
I love
expectation, the one,
nothing.
was that?
I love nothing. It's not. I don't mind. I don't mind if I cry, or that's not it. But just again falling back in feeling so separate. Ooh, this is the worst ever.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, in the story, there seems to be a separation, but there's really no separation. And it happens every single night, but you're not afraid when you wake up. Every time that you sleep at night, there seems to be a relaxation. There's a disappearance of everything, including this meeting. And then you wake up, and then all of these ideas about separation comes back again. So what's being expressed here is that there's nothing that's different from that deep sleep and now. Everything is already nothing. And
Yeah.
everything is
So
already seemingly appearing and disappearing at the same time.
that's why you can make it with just 2 or 3 hours sleep. Of course, there's no one, and
Yeah.
because someone told me it's the me who needs this 10 hours sleep to when the me when
That's
there's
just
no me,
another story, though. It's just different for every
right?
character. Yeah, we're creating another story for something that doesn't really have any kind of like significance or relevance. So nothing is really relevant, including this meeting. There seems to be an openness here. You know what I'm saying with when talking about this nothing and nothing and nothing, and it's sometimes the exposure of that there's nothing all the time, um, seems to be a preference, right?
Mhm.
But the one that's preferring it is also nothing. So it's already it. It's already empty. It's already gone. And it disappears at night and it appears in the morning. So what you're afraid of is already here because this is already gone. Even the moment that I say gone.
I tried to say so what this morning, but this so whatness with everything that appears, it's not possible.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, of course.
But as it happens by itself,
It
there's
all happens by itself, right? So if the so what doesn't come up, so what too?
that's, thank you.
It's so what all the way down.
Mhm. Thanks.
I might DJ later. I might play music and at the last session we can all dance or something to celebrate nothing.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
After the breakout room, yeah.
Hmm.
Sherry, please go ahead.
Hi,
Hi, Sher. How are
fine.
you?
I think fine. I think I have got corona
Oh no.
the second time.
Oh no.
Yeah, but this is this is like it is. I would
Yeah.
like to ask. I would like to ask you. I know that you torture, but I ask and ask you. Is there not nothing is passive or active?
No, that's just another idea. That's just another story, right? We're trying to simplify now and just trying to say that everything is just a happening. At passive and active at the
Every,
same time.
everything is energy.
Yeah, it's just boundless energy.
Yeah,
And even that's saying too much already, right?
but energy is movement. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
uh, it's movement. But
yeah.
I think,
So
and
it's both
I
stillness and boundlessness. It's the same thing. It's the movement and the stillness happening at the same time. And it's the same actually.
because we do know we do understand the energy, you know. But there is the nothing is as which is just a question, you know.
Yeah,
That's why we talk,
yeah,
because you according and everything is nothing, and everything.
Yes. Every stillness is movement, silence is sound. They're appearing at the same time. Illusion is emptiness. Emptiness is illusion. Again, all of these are just concept to dispel that everything
Yeah,
is just a
yeah.
concept, and no one can get out of the concept that everything is an illusion from the perspective of the illusion.
Because there is all there is just concept.
Yeah,
I mean, I cannot do something without concept.
exactly.
Even when you are not there, I don't believe that you don't do something without concept.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I,
saying. Everything. There's no one excluded because there's no one.
the concept go on.
Concept keep in the illusory dream or in the dream of separation. Everything is conceptual. Even saying that there's no concept is a concept. It can't get out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This I think.
Yeah.
And also I see that when you talk, you are completely different when you was for some months ago.
Oh, I'm not
But
sure.
I'm very sure about that. So that's very good. And so at the same time I see the others which they have this resonation.
Mhm.
I had a resonation in the beginning when I talked with Tony. Was very, very, very heavy,
Yeah.
But now it's feeling and something feeling and thinking it's go parallel. This is which I talk about torturing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And as you say, as it is, no one can do
No one can do anything because there's no one
something
doing
about it,
anything. Yeah.
because whatever it is, it says now this body is sick and it is sick. Yes, I know.
Yeah. 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 It's just all happening. It's just all happening. All of this is it's just a happening, right? And it's all a passing happening, apparently, because there's the illusion of time and space, right? There's this movement that seems to be happening.
When it will collapse.
That's just another idea again. That's just another story, another concept. Yeah.
Collapse.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Cher.
you. Thank you.
I have a couple of people. I'll get to you, Zalan, and uh, I'll answer these questions first for a couple of people. That Kevin, please go ahead. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Emerson.
How are you?
Hi, not too bad, thanks. Yeah, I wanted to say something about, you mentioned a few times about going underground,
Yeah.
me going underground.
Yeah.
And it suddenly sort of felt relevant to me. Like I feel a lot of the time I'd watch and I wouldn't be asking questions. I'd feel I don't have questions, and
Yeah.
and I could also feel that well, maybe that's getting closer.
Yeah.
But it sort of occurred to me as well that it's like, because I feel quite nervous about talking,
Yes.
and it's like, in a way, I feel like I don't have particular questions, but it was almost as though what I'd gone underground was like not wanting to have the nervousness seen.
Yeah. So even the underground, even everything that you're just saying is all just really empty.
Yeah, there's no underground.
There's no underground really. Yeah. This again, what this character does, it throws concepts and ideas and stories to point out that it's all concepts and ideas and stories. It's the stuckness, and what's being expressed is it's stuck, basically. This is just basically a merry-go-round, going around in circles and circles and circles. But when it's seen that it's just going in circles, that it's not in the circle anymore, because there's no one in the circle. It's just this simulation, or this seemingly apparent game that's playing by itself. It's like the winking. It's not real. But sometimes, the me, even if it goes underground, it gets caught up in the real. It believes that I don't have a question anymore. Or whatever seems to be happening is what's happening. Do you see that? I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's like I can listen to half of what you're saying almost like a muffled.
Yes.
So something's feeling nervous.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
Because
like
it's being pointed out that it's not really there. So everything that's appearing, everything that's coming out from your mouth right now is actually, the sound is actually nothing. As I said, when someone's speaking, there's a sound. Along with it is silence. So it's really all silence and stillness happening with the sound. The nervousness is also stillness.
Mhm.
The is also stillness. It's also emptiness. The gasp, the all of that. So there's no separate, and there's no one talking back and forth, really. This is just all wholeness. So there's this persistent illusion of separation, that there is a sound, that there is movement, that there is a you and me, that there is, I'm almost there, I will get there, when it's always been nothing. So what seems to be sought for is nothing. It's afraid of nothing. It's afraid of its own absence. So nothing is always staring back. And that's just another concept. But you're beginning to see what I'm trying to explain, right? That everything that pops up is actually nothing that's made into something simultaneously.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it's really nothing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I think more recently I don't listen to the concepts too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But energetically there's stuff happening which includes nervousness, which includes, I guess, struggling
Yeah.
to hear you
Yeah. Yeah.
even.
And I'm
Yeah.
not really saying anything here that's very important. It's just really an expression that there is nothing. There's an enjoyment here, but that enjoyment is also emptiness. The nervousness is also emptiness. Everything is emptiness. So it's
And
like,
it's funny because I don't even know what I'm nervous about.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's nothing. It's really
Yeah.
nothing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Wrapped up in the stories that are resisted.
that's right. So the stories, it's a persistent story, right? So the story is to maintain that the story is real. So this nervousness is real. This story is real. That I am real. So it always goes back into the I am something. I am doing something. It's a very shallow or narrow perspective that it's just me. So when that me lens, or that me barrier, or that me what do you call that, blinders are taken off, there's just a seeing that everything's just happening by itself. That the
Yeah.
nervousness is just what's appearing. It's
Yeah.
not.
And
It's not.
when nobody's doing it, there's nobody feeling ashamed of that or
No,
feeling
no.
worried about that.
Is the weather afraid of its gloominess?
Yeah, or judging it.
Is the weather sad because it's raining?
Mm.
No. What's inside is also the same as outside. So there's no outside and inside. So as I said, this very narrow-minded view, or very myopic, very short-sighted view, that this is just happening to me, when everything is wholly happening all at the same time. Not wholly, not HOL, like wholeness happening at the same time. It's kind of like when it's really bright and sunny outside. That's just what is. but there's this preference of feeling elated or something. As I said, mentioned earlier, everything that seems to be appearing is all stillness, appearing as emotions, appearing as, frustration or nervousness. And there's nothing wrong or right about that, right? So when that's personalized, or when the illusion becomes trapped in another illusion, why do I feel nervous? Then it just solidified it, right? Because that nervousness just became owned. There's ownership now of that one. When it's just nervousness that's happening, so instead of, like, when they say this is like childlike curiosity, so instead of being curious about it, there's this, oh, that's me. What can I do about it now? So it's like, as I explained yesterday, it's like an open house. The windows and the doors are open, and whatever passes through it, passes through it. The idea that there's someone is like when a visitor arrives, you lock all the doors and takes it prisoner. So the nervousness is taken as a prisoner. Mine. But that's just another story. That's just another concept, right?
Yeah.
It's just trying to dispel this concept. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say it's almost not happening at a conceptual level.
Yeah.
Here at the moment, it's more just like, which is one of the things I find, I guess I can find tricky, because I've been quite mindy all my life. So this is stuff that's happening.
See what you're doing there right now again? You're just creating another story.
Mm-hmm.
That's not real as well. So it's just all of this stuff that's coming up, trying to, again, generate another story to maintain a story that I have a past, that I'm moving through time and space, that I am here, when it's being expressed to you that the you is not there at all. It's just nervousness happening. It's just speaking happening.
Mm.
And if you take away that word, it's just what's happening. And if you take away just what's happening, because there's no time and space, nothing is happening. Ah!
Thank you, Emerson.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Robert, please go ahead. Hey, Robert. Robert? Hello? I can't see you, though. Unless you don't want to be seen, and that's completely all right, too. And I can't hear you.
He can't unmute. I don't know why.
Oh, Carolyn. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Yes, Robert can't unmute.
Oh, I can't see him. Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. I'll come back to you, Robert, and then I'll Arlene first. And thank you so much for letting me know, Carolyn. Arlene, go ahead, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Again.
Hi.
Well, a couple months ago when there was first a real connecting with this message, there was a tremendous sense of relief that there was nothing to find.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to do it.
Oh.
Because I'd been seeking for, an eternity, apparently. But one thing that I found sticky that as you were speaking kind of popped up is that this has no purpose or meaning.
Yeah.
When I first heard that, and you didn't say that today, but I've heard it before.
Yeah.
In these messages, there's no purpose or meaning. It was like, what? And I know that's just part of the illusion wanting to, I guess, keep generating itself, or because there has to be a purpose or a meaning, or why is this happening?
I'll use the dream analogy again, right? It's like when dreaming at night. Everything that happens feels completely real.
Yes.
There seems to be time happening. There seems to be people. There seems to be a you. There seems to
Right.
be feelings. It feels completely real. But the moment that the apparent you, there's no you that wakes up in the dream, it's everything that you know or think or feel or believe suddenly disappears completely. The feeling may linger. In a nighttime dream, is there any purpose or meaning?
I don't know. Last night I had eye surgery. I have no idea.
So yeah, so what's being expressed is, kind of like, when, if for example, if someone died in a nighttime dream, it's not true when you wake up. Or if you won $1 billion, the moment that you wake up, you're still broke. If you're broke, so there's no meaning or purpose to it, because everything that happens evaporates the moment that you wake up. Even the eye surgery dream in the nighttime dream evaporates. And then when you wake up, there's actually emptiness. And then the me comes rushing back and tries to interpret that dream and makes it into a concept, makes it into a story, like the eye surgery. But what's seen is what is revealed is that everything went poof. The feeling of realness, the time, anyone, it's actually nothing. Everything that you dreamt about in the nighttime is nothing. So since this is a dream of separation and continuity, the apparent dreamer is still dreaming, although there's no dreamer. So this is a continuation of that dream. No one wakes up. So this is still infinity or emptiness dreaming of itself. So there's no one in the dream. But like in a nighttime dream, when there is individuals or other people, the moment that it's seen that it was not really happening, then everything goes poof, gone. Like meaning and purpose.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
there's just no way to understand.
Yeah. Because you can't really understand a dream.
You can't.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
that's what's being expressed here. Yeah, it's like
I
that.
used to believe that I could, I would interpret my dreams and voila, there, the
there's
light
even books
bulb would
about it.
go.
I used to get a book or kind of like, I'm like, I used to even write about my dreams, because I'm trying to understand it, but none of that, because it's still in the dream.
Right.
No one woke up. So everything that it interprets, even the book of dreams, is in the dream as well. It's another dream book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a continuous
dreaming of infinity, infinitely dreaming of itself.
Yeah, it's just
So in the infinite expressions of infinity, there seems to be fragmented time and individuals. There seems to be separateness, but there's no separateness because it's infinity. Again, we're just talking in concepts again.
Poof.
I was trying to do this, but it's not audible, so
right.
Like, it's just this. It just disappears. It just vanishes, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I think about that, and it's like, wow, that
like
makes so much sense. And then it's like, but I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I had the thought earlier. I know that I don't know, but
that's also
like,
unknowing.
I don't know that I don't know. And who's to know? I don't know. Who am I? You get in that. It's the hamster wheel. That's what I always called it. Being on the hamster.
I remember when I was seeking, when there was seeking, I would try to catch my thoughts. I'm like, okay, that's not real. That's not real. That's a belief, and again, that's reinforcing that I am real because I am catching the unreal. That's what I mean with the merry-go-round, where it just keeps on merry-go-round until it's seen that the merry-go-round is a dream. You're like, oh, no one is in the merry-go-round. It's just a merry-go-round. Or kind of like my analogy earlier of you think that you're driving a car, you think that you're turning left and right and everything, but it's actually it's a self-driving car. And then
Right.
and then further seeing it, there's no one seeing it, there's no one witnessing it, that there's no one driving it. It's just running by itself. It's automatic.
Like you
There's no
were
you.
saying about the video games, I've seen that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so there
I
was
used
a
to do that too.
recognition. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sometimes that just, it doesn't feel right, but it's like, okay,
yeah.
because yeah,
It can't really be understood.
no,
There's just this unknowing or intuitiveness that no one's doing anything, and that's why apparently there's like 60 people trying to understand this, but there's this
yeah,
resonance that they can't understand. And although nothing's being offered here and nothing is happening, people are waiting for something to happen, because in the story there seems to be a release, a seeing that everything is not happening, which is not really a happening. It's just a seeing. It's weird. It's weird to kind of like
yeah.
it's because what is being
Good
expressed
day.
here. Oh, okay. Yeah. So
Sorry.
no worries, Robert. So it seems like that this is this is a waste of time because there's nothing to figure out. But somehow there's a resonance that nothing's there's nothing to figure out, and also a resonance that there's no time.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also a resonance that this doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's such an attraction,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, but who's being attracted?
Yeah. So that's what's being expressed here. It's what being pointed out to, that the one that's
Yeah.
attracted is attracted to itself. So it's attracted to that intuition that there's no time, there's no one, there's nothing to do, and there's nothing happening. So it's seeing its own emptiness. Yeah. Because everything that it comes out is also emptiness.
Yeah. That's what I've been looking for.
Yeah. It's this. It's home.
Yeah.
Emptiness is home. The home is empty. There's no one home. But the lights are always on.
Yeah.
But no one turns off or turn on the light. It's always.
I've had so many dreams about trying to turn the light on,
Yeah.
and not being able to.
Yeah.
In so many different ways, but yeah.
The dream is the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Message me or contact me again, Arlene, or Robert, please go ahead. Yeah, for sure.
Hi, sorry about before. I didn't know.
No worries. No worries. I can't see.
So,
I can't see. Oh yeah, you're there. Okay. Hey, Robert.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
So, I'm doing okay. Kind of up and down.
Yeah.
This morning. So, is this really all about getting over the emotional difficulties of stomaching life's hard truths?
No, because no one is stomaching life's truth. There's actually no life's truth as well. This is seeing. This is the suggestion that everything that you just talked about is empty. It's all emptiness. That it's already perfect.
That seems
that there's
to be
nothing to do, nothing to figure out.
There seems to be a stomaching of some very hard truth that's going on here.
Yeah, if that's what appears there, yeah, but the one that is stomaching that is actually not there. So it's just stomaching. There's no one there. Yeah. There's this perception, there's this idea that it's stomaching something, but it's not really there. It's just what's happening. So it comes up with a story that it's processing something to obscure that it's just all empty.
Right, because the ego wants to survive, so it has to.
Yeah, there's no ego though, right? So the story comes up with another story that there's a separate ego that wants to survive. So what it did there is just it made it real, although there's no such thing as ego. It keeps on coming up with a story to maintain that the story that I am real, that I'm processing, that I'm getting rid of my ego, or there's an ego. It just keeps on going. It's just this circular thing, right? That circular thing is all illusory. The ego, the me. When it's seen that there's nothing actually happening. It's just this apparent distortions, these vibrations, static that's appearing with silence, appearing with stillness, all at the same time. It's just like a fog. It's not really real.
It's just like pixels, like flickering in and out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Well, I guess that answers it, kind of.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. I have a couple of people in the chat here. Sorry about that, chat people. Salan, did you want to ask that question? Oh, the question is this Emerson is an emptiness DJ? It's just DJs. Apparently, there's just DJing happening. There's a funny story that I always tell about DJing. There was always a resonance with DJing that there's no one doing it from a very young age. And it's funny because this character went to seeking to all of these different teachers and gurus and speakers when it's always been emptiness DJing emptiness. Gunay, did you want to expand on that question? Or did you just want me to read that? Can you talk about movement, please? Yeah. Gunay, go ahead. Hi, Gunay.
It's okay. Hi, Emerson.
How are you?
I'm good. Lovely to see you. No, could you just talk about it?
Yes. So
just apparent movement, or I know that there's no movement. I just these days just love to hear that.
So everything is appearing is a blank. Everything is appearing like a blank canvas. Seemingly, in the illusion of separation, there's canvases or colors that's moving around that paints a picture that appears like a me or a life, and it's swirling around in this emptiness or a blank canvas.
But so nothing really moves.
Nothing really moves. So what's moving or what's impermanent or what's always changing is illusory. What is always constant or what's unmovable is the apparent truth or what's real, apparently. So the reality, the apparent reality, and the illusion simultaneously happening at the same time. Nothing happening. See, there's nothing and there's happening at the same time. Stillness, moving at the same time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ian, did you want to ask that question? Any thoughts? Ian Gilligan. Hey, Ian.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks.
Good.
I was wondering if you had any thoughts on why separation or a sense of an individual self arises at all.
Not really. It's just what's happening. It's the mystery, right? It's what seems to be happening is unknowable. There's this apparent illusion that there's separation, and then there is this obviousness that nothing is separate. So there's wholeness, and there's this dream or this illusory separateness. So I can hold the glass, so that there's this and that. So there's an Ian and an Emerson. This is basically a blank page, kind of like an Etch-a-Sketch, right? That all of this arising in the moment that it's shaken, it's all gone. But no one's shaking it. So no, there's this the obviousness here is that the knower, the one that believed in a higher being or a higher self, is the one that's seen as illusory. So everything that it sees is illusory. So that's what was the dropping away, is that they're seeing that there's never been anyone here. So everything that it sees, although it looks separate, it feels separate, it smells separate, is the illusion. There's this felt sense of realness to what's happening, but it's also not happening at the same time. Kind of like in a nighttime dream. Everything that you dream, sometimes the dreams are so vivid that you wake up from it and then you need to, you need time to recover from it. You're like, what the hell was that? It's like this. So if there's no time, there's no self, there's no consciousness. This is just nothing appearing as whatever, as everything.
Awesome.
And it's quite, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you want to ask a question? Mod, yes, we're going to go dancing. I'll play music at the last session. Jack, if you want to ask that question, if you want to expand on that one.
Sure.
Hey, Jack.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, yeah.
Okay. So the question is, would you say it's kind of like a horizon, but never cross it, or do you go back? Or is it just that potential horizon?
There's no really horizon because it's just another idea, right? So this is devoid of any ideas or any concepts at all. Because the one that had all the ideas of a horizon or space or time or movement or anything at all is the one that evaporates, the one that's seen that's not true. And everything that it sees, horizons or path or movement or stillness, is not really happening. It's like the infinite sees its infinity, or emptiness is sees the emptiness. It's always been empty. It's kind of like in a nighttime dream. Everything that you dreamt about from a previous dream completely evaporates. So that's the best analogy that I could do with that one, is that everything that was believed, seen, and heard, and understood is seen as illusory, as seen as a non-happening. So it's a no thing. So this is a no thing happening.
I guess horizon is the wrong word. It's like,
yeah.
I'm trying to compare horizon with like blank, what you're trying to say.
Oh, okay.
And also, not
so
really
that's
the
what's
horizon,
tricky about word,
not
right?
really the past.
Yeah.
No horizon, no past, no future, no present.
Okay, so but you're saying that the blankness potential. Then. Yeah. Would you say, so I'll change that word into, would you say it's kind of like blankness, but you never cross it or go back? It's just this, yeah. You can call it horizon.
It's hard to ask the question.
Yeah. That's why I asked you to speak about it, because I was kind of like, what does that mean? Well, ultimately, everything is meaningless that we're talking about here, right? Because everything that's appearing here is illusory. Everything that is being said here is also illusory. It's also appearing with emptiness at the same time. So all of the gaps in between my words, the spaces, the silence, is everything and nothing appearing at the same time.
Right, so there's no right or wrong question.
No right or wrong question whatsoever, yeah.
It's just nothing matters.
Yeah, that's right. Even understanding or misunderstanding it is the same. It's all the same. In a dream of not the same. It's the sameness in the dream of separation, appearing simultaneously. Thanks, Jack. Did you want to add to that, or?
Oh, leave it at that for now.
Okay, come back. There's another session coming up. I think the session's ending soon. Caroline, what's scary? Do you want to talk about that, Caroline?
No, I've got nothing to say about it. I've just said that. I've just written what I had to say.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. What's scary is that you don't exist, and that any word I seem to hear is my own word. Yeah. There are actually no words.
There is no one.
Yeah, there's no one. There's no words.
I guess you could say you're talking to yourself.
There's no self as well.
Yeah. Just talking.
Just talking happening. Yeah. Not even
Yeah.
talking happening. It's just nothing happening.
So there is no mirror, basically. No mirror.
No, because it's just another concept, right? I use concepts sometimes to dispel the concept. But if you just if we strip all of this down, if everything is stripped away, all the concept and everything, although this is also a concept, it's just this emptiness everywhere, appearing as whatever it is, appearing as sounds or words or understanding. It's just all emptiness. It's all this blankness. Or you can also say it's all infinity, appearing as whatever, appearing as time, you and me. So it can't be put into words, really, is what's being expressed here. But somehow we're putting it into words because this is the dream of words. The wordless is dreaming of words.
I thought I was crazy, but in fact, I am more crazy than I thought, actually. It's just...
I'm even crazier.
Okay. Okay.
Well, there's a breakout
Thank
room
you.
if you guys want to share their craziness after.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank
Baran
you.
goes, oh, sorry, Carolyn.
No, that's fine. Okay. Good.
Okay. I think I have a last question here. Oh, there's a lot of questions here. Baran goes, you said that there's, do you want to talk about this, Baran? Or do you want me to read it? It's a long question. You said that there's a merry-go-round, everything is in circles looping, but then you said you can suddenly realize that you're not in it. So immediately the question comes, how to realize that? Wouldn't be the realization of not being in a circle of an illusion too. No one realizes that actually. It's just the seeing that it's kind of like a plot twist in a movie. You didn't see it coming. It's like a shock. It's like an accident. That you think that you're in a merry-go-round and there's actually really no one in the merry-go-round. So your identification gets shattered. So everything that you're dreaming about, everything that, kind of like in a nighttime dream, everything that you're dreaming around collapses. And then you're left with this, what the fuck? Wow. Or everything is always this way. That there's no one in the merry-go-round. It's just this seemingly swirling, looping emptiness that appears like chaos, that appears like meing or being, but it's not really there because it's all empty. Leah goes, this is actually so simple to be understood and at the same time so easy to be rejected. Yes, but the funny thing is that that too is it. Yes, and nothing needs to happen. Yes. Yeah, sometimes, you know what, I hear this all the time that someone said that it's this disorientation, this nauseating thing, because it's the it's kind of like when there's an interrogation in a room, and then the one that's being interrogated is convinced that they're there, and then the interrogation is saying that, but you're not there, that there's no one here. Seemingly this is just a story, seemingly a clearing up of all of this really heavy belief system, or even a glimpse or a seeing. So sometimes a glimpse can be nauseating. It's not always like, it's not always love and light and all that kind of stuff. There's a glimpse that what is believed is actually all false. It's that feeling that you've been lied to all your life, and the one that's lying is nowhere to be found. It's an illusion. It's like a feeling of getting conned, but no one. It's this circular thing that's happening. Chris goes, sometimes the dream is so vivid that you have to wash your sheets. Oh, thank you, Petra. It just feels safe to be here with you. No mind torture, no fear. Thank you so much. Thank you. You can always talk Zoom afterwards as well. I'll answer all of these questions and we're going to take a break. No self is self-contained and cannot be contained. Yeah, there's no self at all. So there's no containment of anything. Petra goes, am I afraid of my own absence? Yes. Yes. So there's usually attachments of the illusion. And the biggest attachment usually is the identification. It's afraid of the aloneness. It's afraid of the all oneness or all wholeness or whatever it is, or the unknowability of what's happening. The question now is what to do with this perfect creator sense. That's just another concept again, because there's nothing that's being created. What's being created is an illusion. So it's really nothing happening and it's unknowable. So trying to understand, or trying to, if there's this senses, maybe you can clarify it later. Come back, Jack. Someone said that we have to go for lunch. All right. We're going to go for an hour break. We're going to be back, but the next session is going to be at 2 o'clock Eastern time or Toronto time. So thank you so much, everyone. And Anita, hold that question, and we'll see each other. Someone basically said that we should go for a break. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Emerson.
Thanks, Emerson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emerson.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
I'll open the breakout room now. If you guys, and I'll stop the recording.